Apologies for the lighting. This is the best I can do right now. Um, so I just wanted to make this video to document how I make my exercise programs, how I write them down. So first, you should know that I write down. I'll take this portrait paper, portrait skate paper, um, and you can get it on any website. It's just orientated in the opposite direction as the typical landscape notepad. um, and I usually get yellow paper to help differentiate in both, when I'm sticking it in a pile of notebooks um, or putting it in, storing my workouts programs in a file cabinet or whatever. I make it yellow so that I can differentiate it more easily from the white paper, and it looks kind of white under this light. Let me see if I can make it more yellow. Well, it's a darker yellow than what it appears on film. So first, I write down every exercise separately. Each of them are on separate sheets of paper. I write down the name of the exercise here on the top of the paper. This DB just stands for dumbbell, just for future reference. Right now, I really only have regular access to dumbbells rather than barbells. I also write the year, again, more for filing purposes in case I want to go back. And I also write down the version of the workout. I've only ever done a body part, aka the bro split. I really have to, once I expand how many exercises I'm doing, I'll have to experiment a little. But this is the version of the workout. Workout A is chest and back. Workout B is traditionally legs, and then workout C is shoulders. It's, I don't really know exactly. I don't really have a system for a consistent system for which workout is A1 or A2 or A3 or A4. Basically, I suppose if I radically change the workout, if I'm cutting out most of the exercises, because the bench press is always going to be in there. If I'm radically changing the exercises and then I'm taking a bunch of them out, or maybe I change this to an incline bench press and change a bunch of the accessory exercises, I suppose that's when I'll put workout A 5 or 3 or 2 or whatever. And I also write down the part of the split that it is. And again, each of the separate sheets of paper that have the workouts on it, or that are part of the workout, will have that. So that'll help organize it. It's just this that'll be different. Really. So then, I'll write down the week, and I've been doing this for a little while now. This bench press. Of course, we'll start with week 1. Underline the week, colon, and then I put the volume, the sets and reps. I don't know if I have an example right now, but if, say, I want to hold a rep for a certain amount of time, I usually just write in parentheses the amount of time that I would like to hold that rep, which is usually 30 seconds. And if there's any inconsistencies in the volume, or maybe it's a new exercise and I'm experimenting with the volume, I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be, then I'll write that in the notes, which I'll get into shortly. Then we move on to the second line. I put a bullet point. I put the date. I only include the month and the day, US style. I don't know why we do it reverse like that. But I put the month and the day. I have the date up here, so I save some room. and then I put the amount of weight. Now, if there is no particular weight, like for example, this is calisthenics, which probably I should just record my body weight maybe, but I'm not doing that consistently exactly yet, or it's not very consistent yet. So I don't, if the body weight is irrelevant, then I just leave it blank, and I might just write the notes here instead of saving it for this bottom line. So that's a good segue into the notes portion. If we zoom out, you can see that I have some words instead of numbers written here. And these are, for lack of a better term, notes. These are usually I will talk about how an exercise made me feel, like what the physical sensations are, if any. Did I don't really care too much about the sensation of if I'm feeling the muscle working, the particular muscle or muscles I'm targeting working. Since now I know that that's not really relevant. But that's generally I'm recording. Do I have pain, or do I feel like do I feel like maybe I could increase the weight, which I usually or volume, but usually weight, which I signify with this arrow. I make sure that I'm putting in an RPE of, let's say, I don't know, 8 at least each session. Then I'll also record, was I able to do the entire volume? Was I able to do more volume, which is a good clue that I'll be able to increase it soon. The weight, that is. And what I concentrate on, of course, is the reps. Am I doing more reps than usual? By the time I get to I usually do 5x5 traditionally. I'm changing that up to 3x5 probably, but soon. But doing a deload week this week, which for me just means not doing these exercises. These what I record here is the amount of effort it takes, which I record with sometimes REP or RIR, which is reps in reserve. I don't know if REP is the exact, that's like the rate, or RPE, rate of perceived exertion, but usually I just do the reps in reserve, which I try to limit it to 1. So I'm recording its intensity. And any irregularities. Am I feeling pain? Am I feeling, I don't know, any uncomfortable sensations? Do I feel like maybe I have some muscular weaknesses that I should address? And I do have many I'm addressing now in my lower body. After my knee injury, I had a minor to moderate meniscus strain or whatever. And it's been a long road, but I'm trying. And yeah, this irregularity was somehow I managed to do bench press 2 times this week instead of overhead press on accident. So I've been doing it real light, basically just doing 2 exercises per week, not including my rehab/prehab. And I did try running, that didn't work out, so I'm doing the prehab/rehab and some walking. So again, I'm only doing the flat bench press once per week and overhead press once per week. And but I'm going to add dumbbell rows starting next week. So yeah, I'm doing not a whole lot. I'm not doing any accessory exercises really, at least for the upper body. And so that's one irregularity I recorded. And then I experimented with the weight here, as you can see. And Usually I use both sides. So first I'll say up here, these titles, I guess for lack of a better term, I write in pen. But these I write in pencil, and I don't always bother erasing. If it means, um, oh, sometimes, um, oh, I also like to write in the notes, um, how I'm doing with form. Do I want to change it? Should I change it? Is this uncomfortable? Is this dangerous? Is this, um, you know, is there anything that maybe I'm lacking in my form that maybe I should watch out for next time? That I noticed I was slacking on. So that's another really important thing that I write down relatively often. Yeah. Anyway, I write this in pen to make it more permanent. This I would write in pen, but I like to be able to erase. And there are many times I find myself erasing even the weight. Sometimes maybe I go lighter or I go heavier, so I like to be able to erase that on the fly. And it's not like I need to really keep these forever. Yeah. I record, was I tired? Was I having an off day? When might I be able to increase? I also use some Spanish words just if they're shorter. Usually if they're shorter / easier to write than the English words. Gotta get back on the Spanish learning. Yeah, and I give myself an approximation of when I expect to be able to increase the weight. Did I increase the weight during the set? And if so, was it something I recommend continuing with, or did I decrease it, etc. And if you're curious, this is daily leg rehab. I'm actually not really doing it daily like I should. But there are two different workouts that I theoretically, I'll do on alternating day. I mean, not theoretically. I never do them all in one day. I don't got the energy. But by alternating days, I mean like concurrently. I think is the correct word. So I'll do this first, then this, then I like to go back to this, or would like to, but I found myself, either too tired or too low on time or bad with time management because of my executive dysfunction, or not motivated enough because the exercises aren't very effective. I just recently changed these, or like, I don't know, there's any number of reasons why I haven't really been doing it daily, but I've been seeing some decent progress, especially when it comes to the glute medius weakness. And now I want to work on some other stuff, namely my psoas weakness, which I think has been causing me more problems with my legs than I would have expected before. As you can see, the calf raises I like to do just about. Technically, it's not really every day, but something like 3 or more times a week. They're one of my favorite exercises. They're so satisfying. I don't know why. It's like the bench press of the legs, or bicep curl of the legs. Maybe I haven't done bicep curls in so long. This is a quote unquote not very useful muscle. But anyway, I also sometimes record my reps with this. Not really when I'm weightlifting anymore. Or no, actually, it's not true at all. Never mind. Scratch that. I record how many sets I've done with this, reps I might record with this when I'm doing stretches and stuff like that, where it takes longer to do a set, and I do less sets. So this is good for, this is a tally counter. They have digital ones as well. This is a traditional manual one on the press, and you just screw this to reset it. Anyway, very cheap on Amazon, and it works well. And it helps me keep track of my sets when I'm weightlifting, which is important. I used to forget, oh, did I do 5 or did I only do 4? Something like that. So, and that's pretty much it. But I highly, highly recommend using, any system where you're going to consistently write down your program and look back at it. I look back on each previous note. This is a full sheet that I have since put away that I grabbed for demonstration purposes. But a not full sheet, I've made a habit of looking back at the notes I took last time for that exercise. Like, is there anything for form I should concentrate on? Not to mention, I look at the weight, what weight I'm doing, the volume, which I always easily confuse, how much my volume is. At least for some of the exercises I'm not too used to doing. So yeah, that's my weightlifting program. I'm probably gonna have to refilm this because I bungled this a bit. But that's it. Thank you.